Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 12th of March. So looking at the pound dollar for a change first. Actually, the reason I've done this is the feeds on my e-signal here are the usual feed I use isn't working properly, so I've had to switch feeds. So if you're watching this and using e-signal, you may find the same if you're using FXE and prices not working, so I've just switched to FXDC and it works perfectly. So there we go. Anyway, what we got then, daily pound. Okay, there was a daily pivot swing a couple of days ago. That's what we put in. We saw a follow through of that yesterday, negative sort of reaction on the pound to the budget, maybe just sold off, although the euro was selling off at the same time, so it's really dollar strength and real uncertainty hitting these markets. There's some were calling for more fiscal stimulus from some of the governments, etc. Well, UK certainly the budget had a large dose of that within included. So we'll see how the pound moves on. It's looking bearish on this signal still. Lower highs. It popped up yesterday into its 4 hour 21 and then just rolled. That's as much as it can manage. Now today we've got the daily pivot not a million miles away from us. It may pitch up to that. There is a bit of divergence across the lows here, so it may help it a little bit. We post 8 o'clock, it's moving in that direction. That's the potential for it. We're sitting at 22, it's about 50 pips, about 45, 50 pips here, maybe a big ask, but there's the potential. If it fouls into the 21 or wherever else it fouls, well then I'll be looking down towards a continuation of the move down to the S1. Okay, the euro dollar. Euro dollar, really choppy old day yesterday. First it looked like it was going down, then it reversed and went up, and then it went down, and pretty much the theme here. However, to look at it now, it looks like it's obvious it should have gone down. Anyway, it did go down, so eventually, after looking like it was breaking through and then selling off and then pushing back up, and anyway, at this stage that monthly pivot still looks weekly pivot looks on. At some time, if it continues in this sell basis, it ended up in a bit of a wedge pattern yesterday, which it's broken out of. It's come back, probably tested the upper trend line there, lower trend line, or pretty close to it. Chopping around as it is now, it's become a little bit less reliable. Range just reducing a little bit yesterday at least, but still quite volatile. Where to today? Well, break of these lows, may see it run and continue back. As I said, that weekly pivot could come into focus at some point. We do have the ECB meeting at 12:45 today, and the press statement at 1:30. So I think the 12:45 we may see a bit more coming through on that. They're quite tied to what they can do, but we'll see what comes out from that. Okay, that's the euro. We've seen the pound. Let's have a look at the yen. Well, this isn't particularly clear at the moment, but the downside seems to still be having it. Yesterday put in, I'll come back to that daily there, as a bearish harami sitting there with a little inside bar on the positive side there, so maybe some further downside here. We're certainly seeing a continuation. It did get up quite a while and it handrailed that 34. Looked like at some stage it may have broken, but never did. It's as I say, it's just fallen away, which is suggesting softness and maybe further downside. When you come down to the 60-minute, you just sort of look at yesterday and you look at the last few days, it's sort of been in choppy old ranges, and it's really summarising these markets well. At the moment, it looks like, well, a trend line across those lows there may see it break, but I wouldn't put a trend line across this at the moment. It's just chopping all over the place, so chopping all over the world. So that song. Oh no, rocking, that's it. Just joking. Anyway, moving on to the Aussie dollar. Well, the Aussie dollar again tried its best yesterday, rolled back, and well, it looks like it's probably got further continuation to the downside to continue, or it's going to continue going to the downside. That's what I really meant to say there. quite a straight move off. If it was to break through its 8 moving average, maybe, or some other levels there, maybe even that 64, 65 area, maybe that daily pivot's potential, but not looking particularly great at this stage. Okay, so yeah, it's just really looking like it's drifting further south. Right, that's probably the theme of things here. Canadian dollar still suffering. Oil prices pitched up again this morning. It keeps on pushing, nearly into the monthly R4 there. It really is. Really has taken a turn. As we were discussing the price of oil and the potential for any adjustments soon, and it could be sometime before these agreements are sort of sorted and the price of oil recovers. So at the moment it looks like that the battle will go on, and the longer it goes on, the worse it is for the likes of the Canadian dollar, and it'll be putting strains on the oil business there, where it costs around about $40 a barrel to produce. So at less than $40, it is a strain on the economy and the companies involved. So well, we here on this 60-minute, it's looking like it's on its way back to its pivot there. May provide buy opportunities here, or you could wait for the trend to be broken if you were looking for further upside. That's pretty much it for me. As I said, well, we've already had the President Trump speaking overnight, 1 a.m. He addressed UK time. He addressed Congress or whoever it was. He then we have then this afternoon PPI data, US PPI data at 12:30, and at 12:45 then we've got the ECB statements, which will be first watched very carefully for any changes, and then 1:30 we've got the press conference with Lagarde. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.